Yes, people, welcome back to the channel. Bit different thingy right now. I'm on an iPad, just doing a quick video because I just seen this news that come up, and I wanted to talk about it because I wanted to just say something. Like, it was so weird to me. It was just the most stupidest thing ever. So for those of you that don't know, Ben Jacobs and Fabrizio tweeted it. Another here we go, by the way, that Fabrizio's got wrong. Breaking: Nottingham Forest are considering legal action over what? Well, I think the Fabrizio one's a bit better. I'll get the Fabrizio one up. Basically, if you haven't liked, by the way, make sure you hit the like button. If you haven't subscribed yet, make sure you hit the sub button. Bless up to every single one of you. As I say, there you go. Nottingham Forest prepare a complaint to the Premier League for Morgan Gibbs White move to Tottenham. Bro, I don't. Maybe it was David Ornstein then. Either way, one of them, basically Nottingham Forest, have complained. This is how fucked it is. Nottingham Forest have complained to the Premier League or something along those lines that they believe Tottenham have tapped up Morgan Gibbs White to find out his release clause. I mean, in what way is that illegal? How is that even illegal? How does that even make sense? Surely, yeah, what I'm thinking is surely it's illegal, yeah, for Nottingham Forest to hide the release clause. You know what I'm saying? Surely that's illegal, no? That's got to be illegal. That has got to be illegal. That's got to be illegal. Am I right in saying that? That's got to be illegal. How can you hide a release clause from another club? When you go on FIFA, right, and you go buy a player, yeah, FIFA's not real life. When you go on FIFA and buy a new player, it says the release clause on the top left if they have a release clause, so you can pay the release clause. Yeah. At the end of the day, it's like what I think's happened here is Nottingham Forest are so rattled that they lost a player they probably didn't want to lose. Yeah, or whatever it was they didn't want to lose. And their owner is already a bit of a loose cannon anyways. But they've lost a player they don't want to lose. And then which they plan on probably losing this summer, but they try remember Man City. So he had a thing for 60 million a release clause. Man City they wanted 65 from Man City. So Man City didn't even know about this release clause. That's corrupt if you ask me. Um and then obviously they've just lost the Langer. Maybe they don't want to lose two or three of their top players in the same summer. So they're deciding to try and what they probably were trying to do is probably start asking 70, 80 million, try and price Tottenham out of the move and stop Tottenham paying for him, which is a good tactic. But at the end of the day, if you put a release clause in for a footballer and someone triggers that release clause and he accepts to go there, you have to hold that, I'm afraid. That's the rules of football. If anything, they should be done for corruption because they're trying to delay a deal which is pretty much done. The only thing they needed more is a medical, the contract sign, and an announcement. Morgan Gibbs White has agreed to go Spurs, and they've paid the money. Yeah, but Nottingham Forest are actually. I actually think they should get. I actually think they should get done themselves. I think this is wasting. What happened there? Sorry, I actually think they're done. Sorry, I don't know what happened there. I actually think they should get done themselves. I think this is actually corruption from Nottingham Forest themselves. Personally, they're wasting everyone else's time because their egos are hurt and their owners' egos are hurt. Oh, they tapped him up. How do you know they didn't just ring his agent up and his agent said, yeah, he's got a release clause of 60 million? How do they know that? Why are they trying to hide release clauses? You put the release clause in. Why are you trying to hide it? You see what I'm saying? Absolute disgraceful. But yeah, I can't remember the article who fucking wrote it. But I was fucking. There you go. It might be here. Yeah, Morgan Gibbs White transfer to Tottenham is in jeopardy. Nottingham Forest, the proposed transfer to be off for now. They have contacted their lawyers over potential legal action, have stopped all communication with Tottenham as things stand. Nottingham Forest believe Tottenham made an illegal approach to the player and never granted permission for them to speak to him. They also believe that there is a breach in confidentiality around his release clause. But this is what I'm saying. How can you. What the fuck's going on with this thing? How can you hide a release clause? How can you actually hide a release clause? It is not yet clear if Nottingham Forest are able to block the transfer entirely. However, it is expected to delay as Forest prepare a complaint to the Premier League. Yeah, Nottingham Forest. Yeah, they should be deducted points again, mate. They should really be deducted points again. I'll be honest. This is an absolute waste of everyone's time. They're clearly rattled that Tottenham have managed to nick their player in a day, and it's fucking absolutely disgraceful, bro. I'll be honest. I can't believe it. I saw that and I just thought fucking common sense is like he has a release clause. Even if they did ask, even if they end up just asking the guy for the release clause, right? Or asking the guy's agent for the release clause. What's wrong with that? What is wrong with that? You know what I mean? You put it in the contract. If you didn't want to put it in the contract, you should have said no to him when he asked for it. but you didn't, did you? Because you were desperate for him, because you were probably, well, I imagine you was battling relegation that season he signed. See what I'm saying? But they're absolutely rattled that Tottenham are about to nick their best player or one of their best players for 60 million, and they wanted to price him out of the move. They're gonna have to hold that. They're gonna have to firm that. It is what it is. Anyways, let me know what you lot are thinking, man, because I thought that was fucking hilarious when I saw it. I thought the cheek of Nottingham Forest, and I saw even Nottingham Forest fans are rattled, bro. I mean, they bought a player for 40 million and put a 60 million pound release clause in. That's brilliant business. That Nottingham Forest are another one of these clubs, and I guess they're added to the list. Brighton, Brentford now. Who else is going to be added to the list? Who's next to be added to the list? Of the clubs that you just don't want to deal with, mate. They're just absolute stingy pricks, and they'll haggle and draggle for an extra 5, 10, 15 million. The most annoying football clubs on the planet, because the Premier League have built built a thing here in the Premier League where a lot of mid-table clubs and a lot of average football clubs. Yeah, Nottingham Forest finished sixth last year. Yes, no, seventh. They finished seventh last year, but a lot of average football clubs um, have decided to have an arrogance about them where they think they could challenge the big boys because they get an extra 100, they get 120, 130 million every year in Premier League TV money. But in reality, is they're not that big. They need to just accept that they know their place in the food chain. There's a reason why Morgan Gibbs White, at the first flinch of Tottenham Hotspur, wanted to join them, and also, and Tottenham Hotspur aren't even that big themselves. And also, you tried to price Man City out. Well, you did price Man City out the move by asking for 5 million more than his release clause, which was hilarious. I mean, why would you? You know what I mean? Why wouldn't you tell it? Why wouldn't you tell them about the release clause? It's almost like you're trying to hide stuff. I'm not. You're trying to hide stuff. You know what I'm saying? They're trying to hide stuff from other football clubs, and now football clubs found out that they tried to hide it. Well, football clubs found out what they were hiding, and they don't like it. They don't like it, so they can hold that. They can hold that. But yeah, honestly, let me know what you lot think in the comments. Hit the sub button, hit the like button. And Tottenham Hotspur are going to have to wait an extra 2 or 3 weeks. See what I mean? When everyone was complaining, everyone was sitting there saying yesterday, oh, Tottenham have done amazing business. Oh, look at that already. They got 2 deals done. Yeah, and Man United Man United are still spending a month trying to get Mbeumo. They've only got Cunha done. No. And I said, yeah, I watched with that Visa deal. That Visa deal is going to take another 2-3 weeks if it even gets to that, because Spurs may just walk away, because Spurs offer 25 million and Brentford want 50. And then now you're already seeing what it's like dealing with Nottingham Forest. When you deal with Premier League clubs and mid-table Premier League clubs, majority of them are fucking scammers, mate. And they will haggle and draggle to get 5, 10, 15, 20 million out of you. That's what they would do. Anyways, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. I'm out, people. Peace.